Zimbabwe cash crisis worse. Talking about Venezuela once again. Systemic important banks. They removed the 1,000 called monetary awareness. Hey there, hope all is well. Back at you today with some more RT News updates. And as you can tell from today's title, we're going to be talking about Social Security and the fact that your Social Security could be less than what you expect, or more than likely will be less than what you expect. So I have a couple articles I want to share with you, but more importantly, these articles have been sitting on my desk for a while, but I finally decided to share them with you. So it actually stemmed from a conversation I had with a baby boomer that's looking to retire, actually a family member, and we're going back and forth on the ideal time frame at which he should do it or whatnot, because he was mentioning about how work is slowing up and things of that nature, and so it's about that time. And so I was telling him maybe you want to hold off a little bit longer, but then again he was like, I need to retire now. So it's a lot of back and forth, but at the end of the day my thought was, if he waits a little bit longer, he's definitely going to be able to receive more nominally, but then if he does it right now, he's going to receive less. But given the fact that between now and any time between he actually looks to retire closer to 70, we could actually be experiencing some type of downturn in our economy officially, which will hinder that or make it even tougher for him living wise. So it's one of those things where it's not a right or wrong answer. It's more so whatever is best for your situation. So want to share a couple articles with you in regards to the whole idea of timing and waiting and whatnot and what you actually can expect. I'm sure you're going to be shocked at some of the numbers you're going to see here. But before I dive into those articles, as always, if you're new to RTD, I want to encourage you to click the subscribe button along with that notification tab to be informed of future updates as well as live streams. Also join me on Twitter where I share posts throughout the day on various subject matters dealing with our monetary system as well as whatever's happening in the news that I can't get to via video. So make sure you click the button down below to be notified when things are posted. And last but not least, RTD is on Patreon, and so I'm looking to basically get out here and share more news, get out in the streets, do more stories, but yet I could use your support. So if RTD has been informative to you and helped you in your educational journey, feel free to subscribe and become a member of the community officially and support RTD via a monthly donation of your choice. Other than that, let's dive into today's articles. So they have 3 articles I want to share with you, and as always, I'm going to leave them down below for you to find out more about what's inside of it for yourself. But before I dive into this, actually, I want to share a short video with you in regards to what Alan Greenspan mentioned several years ago in regards to the whole retirement concept that was in response to a question presented by, at that time, Senator Paul Ryan in regards to the sustainability of the current retirement system, dealing with Social Security and things of that nature. And as you're going to notice in this video, Alan Greenspan mentioned that it's not a matter of whether or not there'll be enough cash. At the end of the day, it's what will the cash be able to purchase. So that's what all this Social Security information is going to be tied to. In the fact that, as he mentions in this video, there's no limit to the amount of cash the Federal Reserve can print. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what can you actually purchase with that cash. So listen to this.
With that feature in place, do you believe that personal retirement accounts can help us achieve solvency for the system and make those future retiree benefits more secure?
Well, I wouldn't say that the pay-as-you-go benefits are insecure in the sense that there's nothing to prevent the federal government from creating as much money as it wants and paying it to somebody. The question is, how do you set up a system which assures that the real assets are created which those benefits are employed to purchase? So it's not a question of security. It's a question of the structure of a financial system which assures that the real resources are created for retirement as distinct from the cash. The cash itself is nice to have, but it's got to be in the context of the real resources being created at the time those benefits are paid, so that you can purchase real resources with the benefits, which of course are cash.
Mm-hmm. So that video takes us into our first article here. And so as it says, your Social Security check could be less than you expect. Here's how to prevent that. Give you a little bit what's going on here. It says you may be disappointed with the size of your Social Security check in retirement. It says to that point, 27% of retirees said their payments are less than they expected, according to the latest Social Security survey conducted by Nationwide Retirement Institute. It says at the time, aspiring retirees said they expect to receive $1,628 per month on average, but current retirees are receiving an average of $1,257, so roughly $400 or so. It says that 30% difference can be a really big difference for retirees who do not anticipate that shortfall. Quote is saying, there's a huge disconnect between what those folks who are approaching retirement believe their retirement costs will cover and what it will not cover. Go down a little bit more. That comes as income from Social Security benefits is expected to be a large chunk, if not the main source of funds for many retirees. Since more than half of individuals surveyed, 55% says Social Security benefits will be their main source of income in retirement. Those survey results were 1,013 individuals aged 50 and up. It says have a clear understanding of your benefits. It says the longer you wait to claim Social Security up until age 70, the larger your benefits will be. At age 62, when you are the first eligible to claim your Social Security retirement benefits, but you will receive less for claiming early. So these are all topics geared toward helping people ask these serious questions of know how much you will receive, know where it's going to go, and vice versa. And at the very end, it says you should get help with this. But as always, whatever amount you do receive, it's not going to be a matter of how much. It's going to be what can you purchase. Very next article says exclusive. Social Security checks are lower than many Americans expect, survey says. So what stood out here was it says Americans hoping to fund their post-work years on an average Social Security check of $1,400 a month may want to rethink their retirement savings plans. So when I came across the words rethink their retirement savings plans, I'm like, wow, rethink their retirement plans as well as the currency that's going to be denominated in that retirement plan. There's more information there if you're interested. Read for yourself.
Is the next recession?
Recession will be. Will be a recession.
We're going to hit a recession.
The date of the next recession.
A U.S.-only recession typically lasts 8 to 10 months, but a lot of things about this particular one have not been typical. So
A crash is coming. Now, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months, 36 months, no one knows.
I go to bed every night, I dream of another recession. If you know what to do, if you have the right plan to set up, you can make a lot of money from this.
Very last one here is from Los Angeles Times. It says more evidence that raising the Social Security retirement age is no problem for the rich, but tough on the poor. So if you scroll through here, it gives you some details. Showed in a study released last week that mortality rates among people 62 and older are inextricably linked to lifetime earnings. The higher the earnings, the lower the mortality rate. The study tracked differential mortality rates, that is, how far above or below the average each of the 5 income segments landed. So the actuaries use average index monthly earnings, the average of Social Security benefits earnings over 35 years, which is used to compute the world's primary retirement benefits. It says, as Kathy Ruffing, Center of Budget and Policy Priorities points out, among men ages 65 through 69, those in the lowest 20% of lifetime earnings, less than $22,000 a year, had death rates more than 3 times as high as those in the top 20% of 74,000 or more. Specifically, the lowest income group had a mortality rate 65% higher than the average of all men ages 65 to 69, while the highest earning rates had a 39% less than the average. So at the end of the day, what this boils down to, that during your primary years, if you happen to earn a lot of money, it did you well, less stress, so you tended to live a little bit longer. And if you didn't make enough money, you were stressed out more and had more cares and more worries and more burdens, which basically shortened your lifespan a little bit. So tying this all into Social Security and Rethinking the Dollar, as you saw from Greenspan earlier, it's not a matter of how much or whether or not Social Security will be given to the baby boomers and the retirees. It's going to be more so what can it purchase. So the Federal Reserve has proven that there's no limit to what they'll go through to keep control of things. So when it comes to getting cash in your hands or digits in your bank account in the form of a payout for your Social Security, it's going to be there, but it's going to boil down to what can you actually purchase with it. And so no matter whether they raise the age limit or keep it as is, when you do retire, if all you are dependent upon is Social Security, then you're going to be in trouble, because it will not be enough for you to depend upon in regards to your total living expenses as time moves forward and as inflation kicks in, and barring some economic downturn that's going to cause inflation to go through the roof, which will then lead to monetary policy and fiscal policy getting out of hand, of which they're going to print and increase the borrowing, increase the money supply astronomically. So just wanted to shine some light on the Social Security information here. Thought it might be worth your while. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. Where do you stand at if you're in the baby boomer years? Where do you stand at? Are you going to opt out early at 62 to collect, or are you going to wait a little bit longer? What are your thought processes with this? I'm interested in finding out from the older generation on what steps they're taking to prepare for the days ahead outside of this Social Security debacle that's unfolding. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.